dudes and dudettes, I'm Derek with GameSomniac, and today I'm going to be reviewing Killing Floor 2's summer event, Back and Kickin' Brass. First, let me take a moment to explain I love Killing Floor 2. It's a solid, rewarding, hell of a good time, and for someone like me who doesn't play online where the game may actually be its strongest, I still thoroughly enjoy the experience when playing solo. It's an insane game that's truly captivating, such an immersive experience, I love it, and with all of the character customizations and special events that appear year-round, it's just really awesome and never seems to get old. Now, with that said, let's talk about the summer update. Back and Kickin' Brass was released on June 8th and, according to Steam, will end on July 31st. New additions to the game includes one new map, 2 new weapons, and a new objective mode.
Objective mode!
Objective mode is easily my favorite thing about the new update, but not because of the level of variety it adds to the game. I mean, yes, objective mode, much like the weekly challenge, it helps to break up the monotony of the standard gameplay, joining game after game just to survive however many rounds until you die or complete the number of waves allotted, but it also grants players a chance to really capitalize on the dosh experience reward system. The objective rounds featured in Endless and Survival mode often award players experience and in-game dosh to spend on weapons and armor, and Vault Dosh, which is how players unlock dosh crates, the reward varying in value depending on how well the player completed the challenge. I always hated how few and far between objective rounds can be in these standard game modes, and sometimes the challenges are unrealistic, which either results in poor earnings or forfeiting the challenge altogether in favor of staying alive. Objective mode gives you one challenge after the other, one challenge per round, and they're not really that difficult. It offers you 2 main objective types, transport and exterminate. In transport, the players are required to pick up and deliver an item to the predetermined location on the map. The objective is complete once the required amount of items have been delivered. Keep in mind, players carrying the item will receive a movement speed reduction of 53% to walk and 60% to run speed. This movement speed reduction does not apply to solo players or the last player alive. In Exterminate, players are required to kill Zeds until the Zed counter reaches 0. These waves can have special makeups to differ them from the survival game mode wave variants. Boss variant of Exterminate requires the players to kill the boss. This is the same as the boss wave from the survival game mode, however this objective can occur on any wave at random during the game. Most of the time you can complete these challenges without the reward value ever decreasing, and what this does for the player is cut down on the overall grind. Objective mode is currently only available for 3 maps, Steam Fortress, Zed Landing, and Outpost, but I do hope Tripwire Interactive continues to expand on this by adding more maps to the roster over time.
Download that data should not remain a secret between just us. You had seen what I had seen in space.
New weapons!
For me personally, the new weapons are the weakest part of the update. The first new weapon is the Hemoclobber for the Berserk and Field Medic class. The Hemoclobber is a long, needle-laced bat that deals bludgeoned and toxic damage to Zeds and heals players on impact. Huh, you know what? Maybe Negan was just trying to heal Glenn and Abraham all along. You're healed! You're healed! You're healed! You're healed! If a heavy attack has ammunition loaded into the magazine, impact against a player or Zed causes an explosion of blue gas that heals all players or damages all Zeds within its radius. Now the trader price on this weapon is $1,200 dosh. $1,200 dosh! Here's my problem. This weapon is really only useful in online play where the player has teammates to look after. It's another quick, easy way for field medics to come save the day one swing at a time. Unfortunately, all of the people playing the field medic class in Killing Floor 2 aren't taking up the responsibilities of a real field medic. Here's some footage capturing people playing the field medic class in Killing Floor 2. It's great for the players who will actually use the weapon as intended, but that number is quickly overshadowed by the number of irresponsibles out there who pick the class simply because it's the only class they haven't prestiged. So really, by including this weapon in the game, who are you catering to? My other complaint is the price tag attached to this weapon. 1200 dosh is pretty steep for a melee weapon, whose only real perk is healing teammates. By the time I've accumulated 1200 dosh that I can spend freely on a new weapon, I'm probably not going to spend it on the Hemoclobber, let alone a melee weapon. For someone like me who prefers to play solo offline, there's really no incentive to use it. It's not a useless weapon, it hits hard, and I was even able to take down a Scrake and a Flesh Pound with it. But there are other, more efficient weapons I could use to achieve the same desired result. If you want to add a new melee weapon to the game that's useful to everybody no matter what class you're playing, give us a chainsaw! It's an American classic and could easily feature two very effective firing styles. For example, standard fire could be just a straight rev of the saw to take out single enemies in front of the player, or press the alternate fire button to swing the saw left and right to take out groups of enemies. It's a weapon that produces a satisfying end result and makes the player feel powerful in achieving that end result. The second new weapon is really only disappointing because I thought it was something else. The Seal Squeal is an explosive harpoon gun that, well, basically fires exploding harpoons. It's not a terrible weapon, but again, much like the Hemoclobber, there are plenty of other weapons that already do the same thing, but better. The only real selling point the Seal Squeal has is that you can nail your enemies to the wall, which if you're like me, you won't have time to stop and admire your handiwork because you'll be too busy running from the rest of the other assholes that are chasing you. If the Seal Squeal was a rapid-fire harpoon cannon with exploding harpoons, then yes, this gun would have been awesome, even if the ammo capacity was really low to keep it from being overpowered, but it's not. And again, it's not a horrible gun, it's powerful, it's an explosive weapon, and I beat Hans's bitch ass using it. It's not broken or it's unbalanced, it's just not useful to me, especially after I thought it was going to be an M1919 Browning machine gun. Can you feel my disappointment? The one thing I'd like to see from Killing Floor 2 is fun, new, innovative weapons that match the absurdity and ridiculousness of the game's creatures. The Kilowatt, released in the Cyber Revolt update, is a fun and interesting weapon that really has its own personality. The Husk Cannon is also a great weapon because it makes you feel like you're fighting fire with fire. You're using the Husk's own weapon against him. Then there's the Hemogoblin, Static Strikers, Microwave Gun, the Helios Rifle. All of these are fun and exciting weapons because of their unconventional nature. Something I think Tripwire Interactive should continue exploring.
New map, Steam Fortress.
Welcome to the Steam Fortress, bitches! Oh, you thought that airship level was just playing when Lockhart said we were going to Steampunk Island? Well, we was going to Steampunk Island. So grab some gears, cause we got some Zeds to kill, woo! I gotta say, I was actually more blown away with this map than I thought I would be. The level art is visually captivating and its design is fantastic! It's a wide open map with plenty of space to run around in, which is a nice contrast from the game's regular claustrophobic level design where you actively try to avoid underground corridors and tight spaces as it could result in a very short match. It's a real breath of fresh air that allows you to play smart and move strategically throughout rather than moving as a reaction. I'm never afraid to traverse the underworkings of the level, because there's always somewhere else I can turn if I get ambushed by a never-ending mob of Zeds with enough space to juke them even if I didn't have anywhere else to go. The map itself has 3 sections. There's the Steam Fortress, the walkway connecting the Steam Fortress to the rocket, and then there's inside the rocket where the final battle begins. It's a map very much like Krampus' Lair in the sense that you unlock new areas as you progress, only smaller in comparison. Steam Fortress also shares the ability to issue the players objectives that they will have to complete in order to progress to the next area of the map. However, unlike Krampus' Lair and Santa's Workshop, this was included as objective mode. Rather than just being part of the map, this now gives you the option to play the map normally or play it as it was originally designed. The narrator for Steam Fortress is a returning NPC, Ringmaster Lockheart, whom we first meet in the original Killing Floor in Steamland. There we assisted Lockhart in getting his airship, the Queen Victoria, into the air, which he planned to use to transport him and the players to the fortress lair Eden on Cape Corvo, where we now find ourselves. In Killing Floor 2, we were then asked to assist Lockhart in keeping the airship in the air by completing various objectives, and now finally Lockhart's story comes to a close, with the players helping Lockhart launch a rocket into space where, according to Lockhart, no one can hear ice cream.
Now is the parting of our wings. Well, enjoy space, where they tell me no one can hear ice cream. I suppose you're too far away. Oh, and if the onboard computer starts singing, Daisy, Daisy, abandon ship. Well, tally-ho! Ha-ha!
Final thoughts.
Overall, the new update isn't bad, but it's not the best when compared to previous updates either. Looking at past events, the season objectives have been a bit more tedious and time-consuming, really making it a race against the clock to get everything you possibly can out of the update. With Back and Kicking Grass, I completed it in 2 days, which is crazy. What really made the difference in completing the objectives in a shorter amount of time was the addition of objective mode. 3 of the objectives were to complete Steam Fortress, Zed Landing, and Outpost on objective mode, which isn't difficult to do for any seasoned player. On the Monster Masquerade event, we had to defeat 25 bosses and kill something like 1500 or 2500 Zeds, which is easily done playing Endless, but still took time to do. There's no rush with this update, which may or may not piss off players depending on how challenging you like your video games. Overall, I think it's a great update. There's a lot of fun to be had playing Steam Fortress, and of course the Steampunk cosmetic accessories look fantastic and are worth the effort to collect. I would say my favorite thing about this update would have to be the introduction of objective mode. Again, it's a great way to earn Vault Dosh and experience because it's one challenge after another, which Tripwire rewards in greater value than just completing a match. With 10 rounds in each match, roughly taking around 45 minutes to complete, you can easily acquire over 100,000 Vault Dosh, and again, with the added bonus of receiving more experience in a match, you're killing 2 stones with 1 bird. My least favorite thing about this update was the weapons. I'm sure they're more useful to other players, which is great, but they just don't work for me. I probably won't buy them in a game unless I'm just messing around, so for me it's a waste. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. If you like our videos and would like to see more, please consider showing your support and subscribing to the channel. Click the bell to be notified whenever we upload something new. What did you think of this year's summer event? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to mention what other topics you'd like to see us cover in future videos. For all things Killing Floor 2, stay tuned right here at GameSomniac. Bye-bye!